live right now. Okay. Live here, and let me just post this on Twitter. Okay.
You doing this, huh? The product's in the back of the truck and ready to move. Get it to the buyer, and you're done.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's having a great day today. I guess I can follow roll before I go. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, I guess he's just driving. Just follow him then. Can I drive this? Okay, yeah, somebody unlocked it. Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Landlord video, thank you. Next, yeah, I haven't driven this thing in some time. Oh, you can't hear me that well? Hang on. You hear me better now? The new lore video is great. You guys hear me good now? I keep thinking it's L3 to use the boost on this. It's okay, Casey, don't worry about it. Hey, Pro, I hope you're doing well today. Love the Claude Lore video. Thank you. I'm still suffering from a cold. Hopefully I get better soon. My voice has been weird for the past few days. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Mark. I hope that you feel better. How's the weather? It's, very stormy outside right now where I'm at. I just recently saw your Claude Lore video. Nice. Thank you, Jacob. Thanks. I'm glad that you enjoy it. Thank you, Mr. Wick. I hurt my toe been washing off blood. What happened? Wait, why was the writer who followed New Vegas fired? Thank you, Golden. I love that sponsor segment with the chair and the jacket. Thank you. What allegations, Alfie? Thank you for subscribing, Joe Dude. Thank you, Logan Carter, for subscribing, too. I love your videos on making money. Help me out a lot. Thank you, dude. I tried to upload that Claude Lore video last night, but the reason I didn't upload it last night, because it got really late, and the second reason is there was actually a copyright claim with that. Yes, there was a copyright claim. The cutscene when CJ wins the race and he's arguing with Catalina, there was actually music that was playing in the background. I had to edit that. It was a bit annoying. Who's worse, Claude or James Earl Cash? I would say Claude, because at least Cash has some morals. Like, he cares about his family. Hey, Rex. Happy Mother's Day. Was there a reason you stopped cursing in your videos? I don't even curse in, off-stream a lot. I tend to stay away from it. I just don't think it's professional. So I just don't do it. I just think it's a lot better to get your point across without having to curse. Whoa, whoa. Well, that's horrible, Alfie. And these NPC drivers, right? Dead Rising Remake? Which one is being remade, supposedly? Damn, I forgot how sensitive this car is. This car is so sensitive. The professional's a liar? What am I a liar in? Okay, here we go. What's some of your advice for very small channels? Be yourself. Don't go too crazy with it. You know, try your best, but it's going to be, it's like, a lot of smaller channels, and this is what most YouTubers don't want to admit, is that it takes luck to start growing your channel at the start. Like, once you get, like, a steady audience, it takes a lot more skill, but at the start, it takes a lot of luck. Like, you have to have that one video that goes viral. Unpopular opinion, I hate Trevor. Well, he's kind of funny at times, but I hate what he did to Johnny. The professional's not from New York. I've never seen him. What? Hey, Wasabi guy. What's up with these YouTubers making fun of you? I don't know who you're talking about, but, I will say about them is that I don't really let it get to me. You know, people make fun of my voice, they make fun of my face, it just happens. People make fun of the fact that I used to say a lot, but I didn't do it on purpose. It was a nasty habit. Well, Dark Viper is still gonna upload our second video on that. You are a great person who cares what other people think of you. Well, thank you. People are making fun of you for apologizing too much. I know, and about that is the reason that I apologized. Like, I try not to do it. I'm not trying to gain sympathy. Like, I seen some of these comments. People are saying, "Oh, he's trying to get sympathy." No, it's not about that. The reason that I apologize sometimes in my posts is because I promise that I'm gonna have a video out on a specific day, and then something goes wrong, and then I can't have it out that day, And so I feel like I have to apologize to my audience to let them know, like, what happened, why I didn't have it out that day. So that's why I apologize sometimes. Because I feel I owe it to people to explain why I don't have a video out on a certain day when I promise it. Don't let the haters get to you. I've been I've been for a really long time, and there's a reason that you're honest, helpful, and nice. Keep it up forever, bro. Thank you, Jake. You're a kind-hearted person is what it is. Thank you, Zombie Fanatic. Could it also be anxiety? I think it is anxiety a bit too. I get stressed out sometimes a bit on certain things too. Hey, Pikachu. Hey, Drifter Kids. I hope you get better, Robbies. Wait, what, Wick? What's your... You apologize because you're a nice person. You're different from any other gamer YouTuber. Thank you, Batman. I beat Skyrim for the second time a couple days ago. It's level 29. I should start going back to Skyrim again. It's my mission to eventually complete every single quest, do everything. Good job on the GTA 3 lore video. Thank you. Any way I can be in your crew? Well, we don't really use the crews anymore. I mean, really, there's no difference in being in the crew and not being in the crew, Mr. Wick. I mean, you're playing with me. There's really no difference on it. We stopped using the crews because what would happen is people would join the crews and they would use that to basically just grief and just, you know, harass people, just join sessions constantly. That's why we really stopped using them. It's for that reason. I'm not saying that you're gonna grief or anything like that. I'm just saying is that, like, we just keep that policy for, like, everyone. Because it got basically so out of control where people were just trying to play, have fun, and, like, we had these really toxic people that just kept coming in and just harassing people, and it got out of control. And these people are, like, so toxic that they will, like, join the crew, and then what they'll do is they'll hide their PSN name, so you don't know what their PSN name is. And then what will happen is, after that is that you have to try to figure out who they are in Social Club, and you have to go through all the names, and it's just ridiculous. It's a nightmare. Honestly, there should never be a, there should not be an option to hide your PSN on Social Club. I don't think that should be an option. So it's like, especially when you join a crew. If you want to hide your PSN just on your account on Social Club, okay. But if you join a crew, you shouldn't be able to hide your PSN. You can be hacked for being a crew leader. It's the first time I'm hearing about this. Can you go into ghost mode, ask VIP or CEO both? Well, you can only do CEO, but, you could, what people do to get around Ghost Organization is they use Ghost Organization and their friend starts a CEO after that, invites them, and then they're in Ghost Organization.
Okay, invoice paid, and we have a sale. Currency's in your wallet, and Long John T is logging in.
It's okay, Mr. Wick. Don't worry about it, man. You know, that's my biggest problem with Fallout New Vegas, is that you can't play after the ending. That's the one thing I really dislike about that game, that you can't play after the ending. Because it kind of makes it feel like it's pointless doing everything like for the main story if you can't play after the ending. So like I would have loved to see like an ending where you get to see like, you know, all the different factions control the strip, like, you know, Yes Man, Mr. House. You could see like Caesar's Legion or NCR, like, you know, controlling it. I would have loved to see that. I know that in the content they originally planned that, but it's like yeah. Who's guilt tripping what? You know, the thing about this, what I'll tell you, so I've decided that I'm gonna create like a new series on my channel. And the new series that I'm creating on my channel, this is going to be like an advice, like, kind of like video. Where I basically give my advice and like things that I've dealt with, you know, things that I think, and like I've already done 2 of those videos. I did the video where I talked about retail, like this retail, how it's a nightmare, and the second one I talked about group projects, and the next one I'm gonna make one of those each month. The next one that I'm gonna have near the end of this month, the next like advice video I'm gonna talk about is how to deal with like guilt tripping YouTubers. Because there's YouTubers that like try to guilt trip their audience, and I'm gonna basically talk about like how to deal with those people, because like those people, honestly, I cannot stand those people that like they try to guilt trip their audience into donating to them. It makes me so mad. Oh, okay, Locke, don't worry about it. Hot take, SMGC. Oh, and I missed 3rd Street Saint. I'm sorry. Which Ace Attorney antagonist you would fight? Me personally, it's Red White. What do you mean, like hand-to-hand fighting? Huh. That's not for me. I would say, yeah. I would say the most evil character in the original Ace Attorney games is Dahlia. But I would say the second most evil character in the original Ace Attorney trilogy would probably have to be the police chief. What's his name? Gant? I think it was Police Chief Gant. He's also really bad. Hot take, SMG, CCPD, and M16 Cerberus are as bad as the GTA 3 Shotgun Leones. Holy shit, the amount of times I'd have a massive rage for both of them. Well, I'll tell you something. There's that one mission in Manhunt that I didn't like. I liked almost all the missions in Manhunt. The only mission in Manhunt that I did not like is I didn't like that one mission when, like, Cash is trying to escape from the Carcer City PD, and he's, like, in that train yard, and there's, like, almost no place to hide, and, like, all the cops have guns. Like, I don't like that mission. That mission I didn't like. It was the only mission I didn't like in Manhunt. I died so many times in that mission, I thought that mission was badly designed. I just didn't like it. Do you think Pavel and Roman know each other? They sound similar of how they talk about Russia and Yugoslavia, went through bad times in the 1990s. Probably not. Yeah, they probably don't know each other. Thank you, Zombie Fanatic. But there is actually a joke that Pavel actually says. Pavel actually says that he wished that he met you in the 1990s. And when he says that, I wish I met you in the 1990s, what Pavel is basically talking about is that in the 1990s in Russia, there was extreme corruption, like really, really bad corruption. And so people were just stealing everything from like the former Soviet government, and they were just selling it off. That's why Russia, a country that transitioned from communism to capitalism, has so many billionaires in such a short time. It's not that those billionaires accustomed that well through like legitimate businesses over time. It's like those billionaires were like former Soviet directors that had like stolen a lot of state property afterwards and just sold it off. Hey Pro, do you want to do my casino heist later? Thank you for the super chat, Tom. Yeah, we could do it. We could do it later. just I do the casino heist at the end of the stream, so if you're in my session, I can probably help you like 90 minutes from now, or maybe like an hour from now. Who's more powerful, Dane Vogel or Devin Weston? I would say Devin Weston. I mean, not Devin Weston, Dane Vogel, I'm sorry, Dane Vogel. Dane Vogel just has way more power and influence than Devin Weston, I would say. Thank you, Jacob. I like the advice videos idea. Looking forward to the next one. You should do an advice on fake people personalities being yourself. Thank you, Bunny. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, Slick, it's me. Yeah, that line is so annoying. I saw your 2-hour Claude lore video. Did you like it? Dude, you're such a liar. Why are these YouTubers talking bad about you? Well, you gotta tell me... You gotta tell me exactly who's doing this. Is it like those people that are just making fun of like my voice and like just making fun of me saying In my opinion, if you only play GTA online, not a Rockstar fan yet, I don't know how people like I don't know how like there's people out there that they only like want to see like one game on a YouTube channel. Like I don't get that personally. Like I understand that like people are just, I get that people are gonna be interested in like certain games more than others. But I don't get, like, why so many people just pressure YouTubers into just playing, like, one game. They're like, oh, only play GTA, or only play Call of Duty, I don't want to see any other game. So I don't know, like, why sometimes, like, people, just, like, viewers will just pressure YouTubers into only playing one game, because that, honestly, for me, I think is boring. If you just see a YouTuber just do only one game on a channel, I think that's boring. I'd like to see them always, like, play a diverse amount of content. Let's get this chariot in motion. That's from the, yeah, the taxi missions. Do I think Nico would have still met the people in Bohan and Algonquin if he never killed Vlad and never got with Faustin? Well, kind of escaping from Dimitri is kind of like what triggered him meeting all those people that. So probably not. Well, I think that you're trolling at this point, Goose. Because even though I dislike that channel, I don't think I've seen him actually make a video like that. Would you rather know when you'll die or how you'll die? Here's the question now. I want to ask, I want to ask you a question about that. And you don't have to super chat me again, I'll look for your comment. I do appreciate the super chat. You're asking me if I would rather know, how, know when I'll die or how will I die. If I get told how will I die, am I able to prevent it or not? That's the question. James Earl Cash is a saint compared to Claude. Oh yeah, he is. I would agree with you on that.
Invoice paid, and we have a sale. Currency's in your wallet, and Long John T is logging out.
If I'm able to prevent it, then I'd like to know how I die. If I'm able to prevent it. But honestly, I don't think anybody would want to know the answer to that question, because like, can you imagine like knowing when you'll die? That's kind of disturbing to know that, because that would just and like that would just emotionally destroy people psychologically too. Uh, Remember the Michael is Claude theory? Oh yeah, that one. That's ridiculous. Oh no, no more taxi work. No, no, no.
We on?
There's no more taxi work. That was just, Pro, any tips for airplane travel? I haven't flown in 6 years. I think that you'll be fine. The chances of you dying in an air crash are like, the chances of you dying in an air crash are just so low. But honestly, I will tell you guys, is with this stuff with Boeing going on recently, it honestly makes me scared to fly Boeing. With just this stuff that's going on personally, all these accidents and these runway incidents, and then you have like people, whistleblowers, that are just accidentally dying. It's just you know, stuff like that. It just personally makes me like really uncomfortable to fly Boeing. But the thing about that is, I want to go visit my family next month, because next month is my birthday, and I want to visit my family in New York. But my town in the Midwest, it does have an airport here, but literally the only planes here are Boeing. There are no other planes. There's no Airbus or any of that. It's just only Boeing, and so it just scares me, just, you know, getting on a Boeing aircraft. But will I ever do a lore video where I explain why the older Saints Row games are better than the new ones? I got 100% on Saints Row 1 just the other day. Yeah, I'll do a video like that one day. I actually want to do a video on, like, things the original Saints Row did better than GTA. I'm good right now, Mr. Wick. Why not take a bus to New York? I don't want to take a bus, because I'll tell you something. I've driven a few times between, like, my town in the Midwest and New York. I've driven it a few times. It's like a 20-hour drive, and it's like I don't want to go through that. Even if I'm not driving, I don't want to sit in the bus for over 20 hours. I don't want to do that. So it's if I fly, it's just 4 hours. That's all it is. So it's just it's quick, but it's either that or it's 20 hours of driving, which is just. I have a few stupid theories of mine. Ghost is Gaz in the original Modern Warfare trilogy. The play and the GTA Online protagonist are distant cousins. You know that Ghost is Gaz theory is actually, like, people actually believe that, like, when the game came out. Ah, great. Ooh, fell into a tree. Okay. Just check something here really quick. Oh well, the Claude lore video is doing really good. It's already at 8,000 views. Thank you guys for the support on it. Your watermelon slicing skills are remarkable. Thank you. Yeah, well, I'm just scared of flying Boeing now, and the the thing about Boeing is, like, I think that those whistleblowers, like, I think that there's something off about their deaths. It's just suspicious. How did Wei Chang think Trev and Mike were dating? If he has some power, wouldn't you think he would piece together they are partners in crime? Well, I guess it was just to show how incompetent he was. I think that's what they were making fun of. Thank you, Alien, for the super chat. Fly on Delta. Well, we do have Delta Airlines here. I guess I'll take your advice. I'll take Delta. But I don't know if they'll have, you know, Airbus. If Catalina didn't betray Claude, do you think he would betray her? If he found someone more powerful over time, probably, yeah. Which Ace Attorney character would I want to debate with? Maybe with Blackwill, because Blackwill messes up a lot of things. A lot of things that Blackwill says that aren't that aren't true. Hey, Paresh, I like your Twitter post. But when I was getting ready to comment on your most recent post, someone put a wait, what? That's, oh my god, that's horrible, Anawak. Let me see if I can block them right now. You can delete people's comments who tweet underneath your tweets, right? Okay, I think I blocked it. Okay, thank you for telling me about that, Anawak. I blocked it. That's just so creepy. It's just so creepy. I remember, like, and if you guys notice that my chat is only for subscribers, subscribers mode. So only subscribers can chat. And the reason that I've had subscriber mode on for like 2 years at this point, or 3 years, more than that. It's because what happened is, in the past, I would have like these creepy like bot accounts constantly like popping up in like the chat. Like I'd be streaming GTA and I have these like creepy bot accounts and they'd be posting some cryptocurrency website, or they were posting like some like adult sites. It was just and so I literally had to make my chat as like just subscriber only. And when I did that, it stopped all the bots. Like there's no more bots at that point. I don't know much about that, Tobbed. Where's Claude in Manhunt? He's probably still killing people committing crimes. Favorite character in The Godfather? Alright. My favorite character in The Godfather? Maybe Michael Corleone. If not for Michael, I'd say maybe Alneri. Yeah, maybe Alneri. I'm cutting out on the stream? Wait, what? Can you guys hear me good? Do I still sound good on the stream? Is everything fine? Okay. Okay. Quad videos fire. Thank you. Do I think Stillwater is a better city than Steelport? Oh yeah, 100%. I think that 100% is Stillwater is the better city. Pro, was there a reason why Shepard killed Ghost and Roach? Because he could have just took the DSM without killing them? Like, it makes no sense to me. Was that Makarov's order? Did he do it? It was basically to tie up loose ends, because he figured that eventually Captain Price was going to catch on to him. I will tell you about, and I'll answer your question in just one moment, Jacob. Thank you for the super chat. About General Shepard. General Shepard hates Makarov, and Makarov hates General Shepard. The only thing that General Shepard and Makarov both agreed on is that they both wanted to start World War III. That was the only reason. Here's the thing: is General Shepard is really the same thing as Makarov when you think about it, only an American version. He's really the exact same thing. I would say that maybe General Shepard is a little bit less evil than Makarov, but he's really the American version of Makarov. Makarov basically wants to start a war where he wants basically Russia to take over Europe and, basically knock out the United States in a war. And Makarov wants to be the, autocratic leader of Russia. Where General Shepard, the reason that General Shepard is doing what he's doing in the Modern Warfare series is the difference between General Shepard and Makarov is that Makarov was always an evil, horrible human being. But General Shepard was actually a good person at one point. He was a good and honorable person. But what happened to him is General Shepard went insane. He actually lost it. So at one point he actually snapped, but people didn't realize it. So he's actually insane. He's gone insane. And I would say that's probably the big difference. Makarov is very sane. General Shepard isn't. So the reason General Shepard snapped is because he was actually the general that was actually leading the invasion of al-Assad's country in Call of Duty 4. When Makarov actually detonated that nuclear bomb, he lost like 40,000 soldiers, and after a couple of years of that, people stopped talking about it. And so General Shepard basically thought that people didn't care. People didn't care about the sacrifice that all the soldiers made. He thought that they didn't care about the lives of all the soldiers. He got really angry about that, and so he wanted to restore patriotism in America. He wanted people to be patriotic. He wanted people to love America, and so because of that, he basically plotted with Makarov to start a world war. Just Makarov was expecting Russia to win. General Shepard was expecting America to win. So literally, they teamed up with each other only for that one incident, just to basically start a world war. That was pretty much it. And Shepard basically believed that if America went to war with Russia, people would become more patriotic. If Russia invaded America, they would want to sign up. And eventually that he would be seen as a hero because he he defeated the Russians who invaded America. He was given a blank check, and he could basically do whatever he wanted with it. So, and then probably Shepard could probably end up becoming the president, too, if he became so popular in the conflict. So literally there's, it was 30,000. Oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, that's basically what I was saying about Shepard is he was a good man at one point, but it was eventually he just snapped. There was no saving General Shepard. He needed to be eliminated. There was really no shape of saving him at that point. He was just too far gone. If you don't mind me asking, what do you think of your parents' home country? You mean Poland? I haven't been in Poland in 14 years. 14 years I haven't been there. I don't know, like, it's that the last time I went, I enjoyed myself for the most part. I would say that when I was in Olsztyn, it's a city town in Poland. When I was in the Stare Miasto, which is, the old city, it's like a district of the city, I had people making fun of me when I spoke Polish. They would make fun of my accent. They knew that I was from the United States, so they just make fun of my accent a bit. But other than that, I didn't really have that many bad experiences. Uh... I literally gave, I give up, my boss a birthday card. It's really today, a copy of Red Dead Redemption 2, and $25 off PSN credit, only for him to tell me he's leaving soon, and he was like a mentor. Whoever poached him, I hate you for that. Oh, he just left? He's leaving soon. Ah, well, that's a shame. Thank you, Blinded Eagle. Which Ace Attorney character would I want to debate with? I told you, probably Blackwell. Honestly, having a good and honorable boss is like finding a needle in a haystack. What's your opinion on Simeon? There are corporations that are like him that just fire someone over a life and death situation. An Amazon driver killed a carjacker in self-defense, but still fired. I know the thing you're talking about. I actually had I had a video recommended to me like earlier today from Colleen Noir, and it was like about an Amazon driver who was like getting robbed, and the guy who was robbing him had a gun. The Amazon driver pulled a gun, shot, and killed him. And the Amazon driver is probably going to get fired now. Most of these companies have very strict policies that you are not allowed to carry a gun for self-defense, and so even if you use it, even if it's like a life and death situation, you're still probably going to get fired. So that guy's probably going to get fired. It's probably going to happen, but yeah. But here's what I'll say is, we don't know the full details of the case. We don't know everything that happened. But if it was a life and death situation and the guy was trying to, rob him with a gun, was trying to hurt him, he very much had the right to defend himself if that was the case. And it's better to lose your job and defend yourself than not defend yourself, and then something horrible could happen to you. You might not even come back from work. So you never know the situation. So I don't think he regrets defending himself, because it's your life. You're protecting yourself. But it's just gonna suck if he gets fired. LA War video still coming out later tonight? Yes. I'm gonna make it for members, probably like an hour after the stream. You could get a job as a cop? Not necessarily, because if the cops look at something like that, it's actually starting to clear up a little bit now, Mr. Wick. Should be fine. Pro, if Fallout 3's companions and New Vegas' companions all fought with default equipment, which team would win? I'm trying to think. Fallout 3, you had Jericho. You had Sharon. I forget the name of the Paradise Falls girl. I know she's another Evil Karma character. Sharon is like the neutral character. It's like your contract. Then, it's Sharon. It's, Fox. There's a Brotherhood of Steel lady. I forget her name. There's a Mr. Gutsy. There's Dogmeat. There's Butch. And then Fallout New Vegas, there's Veronica, there's Raoul, there's Boone, Lily, I'm trying to remember all the characters here. I think the Fallout New Vegas companions would probably win in a fight. My favorite companion in Fallout 3 was always Jericho. Jericho was my favorite one. Oh yeah, 100% he would, Kevin.
Whoa, don't mind me.
I could, Brandon. I saw a clip yesterday of a man walking up to and pointing a gun at a pastor in a church during service. Yes, that actually happened a couple days ago. The guy was tackled to the ground, the gun didn't go off. I know what you're talking about, Jacob.
Okay.
Pro, thoughts on Norway? It's a very wealthy country. It has very high standards of living. It doesn't have a very big population. Most of Norway, the upper part of Norway is not inhabited. It's the southern part of Norway. Hello, Nuff. How are you, man? The Cossacks? The Cossacks throughout history fought on so many different sides. They were mercenaries for a huge amount of their history too. The most good and honorable thing Claude did, maybe killing Catalina. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, there we go.
My Lord and Savior.
Bro, did you get your mom flowers for Mother's Day? Thank you, Christine Wyatt. I sent my mom a card and a few $100s for Mother's Day. She did get it today. Thank you for the super chat. I also called my mom earlier. Thank you, Big Dog Mobile Gamer. Thank you for subscribing. I'm good right now, Mr. Wick. Bro, isn't it your birthday soon, June 7th? Yes. I'm gonna be 30 years old. It's kind of crazy. This is the last month of my 20s this month here. Kind of crazy. Feels kind of weird turning 30, honestly.
What the hell?
Oh, this is the one with the hippies attack you here. I'm feeling good. Yeah, I'm 29. Why do I look older? When do you think you'll quit YouTube? I don't think I'll ever quit YouTube. As long as YouTube doesn't fall apart, I'll keep doing YouTube. Why were some people saying you're 46? I don't know who the hell was saying I was 46, but... No, you look like you're 24. Well, I guess that's good then. You look a lot younger than 29, huh? Oh. You know what was the weirdest thing that happened to me? To tell you about that. I'll tell you guys a funny story. I was a couple months back. What happened was, my dad was visiting me. This happened more like half a year ago. This is like November time when this happened. So yeah, it's more than half a year ago. My dad was actually visiting me for a couple weeks, and when my dad was visiting me, we went to we were doing some groceries in Walmart. Then what my dad did is my dad wanted to buy like a few cases of beers. I don't drink at all. My dad was buying it for himself. And what happens is, my dad, when he's going to the checkout, he's, paying for it, the lady at the cash register is like, I need to see his ID. And he's like, what? And she's saying it's like in case you're buying it for him. And I'm like, do I look like I'm 18? like, or is it, or 21, it's under 21. And then she's like, we have to be sure. And I was like, okay. And I just gave her my ID. She was looking at it for like a moment, she's like, okay, you're good. But it was like, it was like a weird thing, I got carded for that. That was just, Thank you, Bermansky. Thank you for the super chat. He was a bit of a scumbag, Ryan, the Vault 101 overseer. He's not as bad as Mac. Mac is much worse than him, but he's, yeah, he's a bit of a scumbag. I saw an old man get forced into showing his ID to buy a lighter. Yeah. Yeah, I don't, Christine. Just gotta wait for the motorcycle club to leave the area. Well, thank you, Raiden. I turn 21 next month, 10 days after your birthday. Oh, so June 17th then? Thank you, Own Titan. Here. Okay. No, I didn't see TGG's video on Rockstar GTA 6 Self-Leak. Is that the real TGG in chat? I don't think it is, because he doesn't have a check mark near his name.
Wow.
Pro, which Shadow company did worse in terms of actions? Shepard Shadow in 2009 or Graves Shadow in Modern Warfare 2022? Would you have given him a second chance if you were a prosecutor, lock him up? Honestly, I think that Graves should be hanged for what he did, because Graves, here's what I'll tell you about Graves in Modern Warfare 2. And this is one of the worst things about Modern Warfare 3's story. Like, this is like why the story, one of the reasons the story makes no sense. I actually included this in my review of the story. But think about this. This guy betrayed, you know, Ghost and Soap in the last part of, in Modern Warfare 2. He betrayed them, tried to have them killed. Not only that, he arrested hundreds of Alejandro's men, took over like a prison in Mexico, and that's not even the worst thing he did. He went into some town in Mexico and just mass murdered like hundreds of people. How would that not cause an international incident? Like some American private military contractor group, some mercenary group, went into a town in Mexico and killed hundreds of people. That would cause a massive international incident. Might even cause a war between the US and Mexico. So, like, and then in, like, Modern Warfare 3, like, Graves comes back, and he's like, oh, I was just following orders. We're good, right, guys? We're good, right? And it's like, it's just so stupid. It's just so dumb. Honestly, if we had the old Captain Price back, like the old Captain Price, the second that he saw Graves in Modern Warfare 3, he would have him killed. The second he saw him. So that's, I just don't get, the story in Modern Warfare 3 was so bad. Oh, he wasn't never in the tank, but you know the thing is, I knew that Graves was going to come back in Modern Warfare 3, but I never expected him to come back as an ally. That's what I never expected. That made no sense to me. Oh, he sent me an invite? Okay, let me join you. Oh, I didn't expect it. My reaction the first time to General Shepard was, what? That was my reaction the first time. Maybe in a little bit, DHC. I'm gonna help Brandon right now.
Sorry.
You know the thing is, though, is when I was doing my playthrough of Rise of the Ronin, I still have one more part left, the ending. So we're gonna finish it up this week coming up. We're gonna still stream Rise of the Ronin and finish it. But what happened is, I had when I was wearing my Ronin outfit during the cosplay, I had some guy, like, I don't know if he was trolling or being serious, but he just came in the chat and he told me that it was racist, like, you know, wearing like Japanese Ronin clothes because I wasn't Japanese. And I'm like, you know, how exactly what? Like, I was just wearing Ronin clothes because, like, I like Rise of the Ronin, and I like Japanese history. So I don't know, like, how that was racist, but, like, this guy was, like, just making a big deal out of it in one of the streams. I hope he was trolling, at least. I can't imagine somebody being that stupid. I know you don't know much about music, but I recommend the band Lordy. I saw them live 2 months ago. What is it, like a rock band, or what kind of band is this? Is this hip hop or I'll listen to any kind of music, Jacob. The only type of music I don't like listening to is music that they're constantly cursing in. Okay, I only got a mile here left. Not that bad. Who's the youngest 3D GTA protagonist? You mean at the time of playing as them? The youngest GTA protagonist, wouldn't it be like CJ? I think isn't it CJ? Isn't CJ the youngest playable character? Because, like, Claude is in his late 20s in, like, GTA San Andreas, or GTA 3. So, Claude is actually around CJ's age in GTA San Andreas, but in GTA 3, he's, like, in his late 20s. So, I would say, isn't it CJ? Like, isn't CJ, how old is CJ in San Andreas? He's, like, 20 years old, right? How old is he? I know CJ can drink, so he's probably 21, but, CJ was 24 in 1992. Okay, so he's 24 then. How old is Claude in, Claude is 30 in okay, so he's 30, so. So that means Claude was 21 in GTA, San Andreas then. How old is, I know Tony's, like, in his 30s. Michael's in his 40s. Trevor's in his 40s. How old is Franklin at the start of GTA 5? How old is Franklin? Not GTA Online, but just GTA 5. How old is Franklin in GTA 5?
Oh shit!
25. What about Vic Vance? How old is Vic in Vice City Stories?
You picked the wrong guy.
28. Okay, so it has to be Huang is 26. Okay, so then CJ is the youngest GTA protagonist then. Yeah, then it's CJ. Make some sheep tacos for your mom for Mother's Day. Thank you, Home Titan. Thanks for the super chat. How old is Tommy in his late 30s? Oh yeah, Luis. I forgot about Luis. How old is Luis? Is like how old is Luis? He's in his late 20s, right? In GTA 4. Hey bro, can I get help with my casino heist and MC sales after you're done? Sure, Jeremiah. What's your PSN name? Are you in my session? 25. Okay. Yeah, maybe one day we could do it, Melons. Thank you for the super chat. Whoa, okay. Oh no, I'm gonna stay away from taxis for a long time now. It's like the last time that when I was doing those taxi missions, like literally I was just that was horrible. Okay, do I have you added, Jeremiah? And thank you for the super chat. Hey man, won't go live today, but I'm gonna join you. Okay, Nikki, and thank you, Jeremiah, for the super chat. All right, you don't have to super chat me again, Jeremiah. Or just tell me in the comments. Are you in my session? Or do I have you added? Oh no, I'm scared. What is it? Okay, at least it's garbage trucks, not post-up. I think he was always a horrible person, Ryan. Okay. I can help you a little bit later than, Who else was it that needed help with a heist? Was it you, Mr. Wick, or who was the other person who asked me help with a casino heist earlier? Who else asked me for help with one? Oh, Tob. Okay. Yeah, so Tob, I'll help you first, since you asked first, and then I can help Jeremiah, and then Mr. Wick, you have one also? Okay, when I'm done helping Brandon here, then I'll help Tob first. Yeah, I would say they're still good vehicles to own, Zombie Fanatic. How many New York accents are it? Probably like a dozen. Well, I guess Rockstar is adding a bunch of games to it, so I guess it's making it more worth it, but... What Fallout should I buy first? 3 or New Vegas? Go with 3 first. Okay, Mr. Wick. What side do you pick to win in a death battle? Vercetti Gang with Tommy or Grove Street with CJ? Okay, Tar. I think that probably Tommy would win that fight. No offense to CJ, but Tommy basically controls all of Vice City at the end of San Andreas. He has much more resources than Grove Street. I know CJ is like a rapper and has access to the casino, but that's like if the Triads decide to help. But if it's just like strictly Grove Street versus Vercetti Gang, I would say Vercetti Gang would probably win. How old is Lance? Oh, in his 30s. Thank you, Mr. Jesus. Lordy's a hard rock heavy band, heavy metal band. Like I said, my earlier research that you missed. They won Eurovision back in 2006. Oh, okay, Jacob. I have an outfit for you in Fallout 76. Are you aware you can join the Enclave? You can join multiple factions with no consequences. Yeah, I think you can. I never went to the Enclave bunker in Fallout 76. I went to the Chinese bunker, but I never went to the Enclave bunker. Yeah, but if we're just talking strictly to gangs, though, Raiden. If you fought Brian from the Lost and Damned was racist, wait until you see Remy, Duval, and Mafia 3. I never finished Mafia 3, so I gotta get around to doing that one day. But I do remember the first parts of the game. I remember when like Lincoln was pretending to be that armored truck guard, and I remember that the other guards being extremely racist to him. In that time period in like the 60s is if you were African American, you were actually much more likely to get drafted than somebody who was white. So the draft was not very fair when it came to drafting people. I'm gonna play the Yakuza games one day. Oh, this is auto-aim? I didn't even know this was auto-aim. What do you think about military conscription? I don't think that a country should ever conscript its citizens unless it's, like, desperate. Maybe that's, like, the last attempt. But, like, there should... I don't think America should ever, you know, have conscription, ever have a draft. America technically... Technically, America has conscription, but it's just not used. But that's what selective service is. The government has your name and has you ready. So in case they do decide to reinstate the draft, they can just take you whenever they want. But, yeah, I don't like that idea. Because it's like, you know, if another country, like, invades your country, then it's like one thing being conscripted for that. But if you're being conscripted to, like, fight some war that's, like, you know, halfway across the planet, that's a stupid. America was founded on voluntary Minutemen, not conscription. Oh, I agree with you, Donald. Yeah, I agree with you on that. That, honestly, the founding fathers didn't even believe in a federal military. They were actually completely against that. They believed that every state should have its own military. So they didn't even, remind me next time when a party to show you the location of Fallout 76 is important you visit. Also, when doing Settlers, go with Foundation. I think I'm gonna help the Raiders though, Madeline, because I want to help the Raiders in Fallout 76. Reason why I hate the Russian government? Well, imperialist, constantly interfering in the affairs of all of its neighbors around. You know, pretty much all of the, a lot of the Central Asian countries are even like puppets of the Russian government. Thank you, Nikki, for the super chat. Thank you, Antonio, for sponsoring my channel. Thank you, man. Screenshots of what? GTA 6 coming in from Rockstar? I think I'm gonna start streaming Red Dead Online weekly. What do you think? Is that the real Dark Viper AU? Is that the real one? There? It's not, okay. Can you do any New York accents? Like, hey, how you doing? How you doing, kid? Ain't how we do things in Brooklyn. That's like, what kind of operation you running here, pal? That's more like the lighter kind of New York accent. Then we got like the more deeper like New York accent, like, hey, Deech, what are we doing today? Hope you're doing great, Pro. Really enjoyed your Claude lore video. People often mistake him and the GTA 2 protagonist for being the same character. Thank you, Dillingham. Yeah, people, I think, honestly, I think it was a terrible idea for Rockstar to name Claude, because they should have probably named him something else, because they already had a character named Claude in another game, but you're telling people it's like a different Claude, so, but, yeah. Will I play Ronin again? Yes, this week. Can you do Ray Bacino's accent? Be a bit harder to do his. Foundation gives you the Chinese stealth suit for free. If you side with Raiders like I did, you have to pay a crap ton of gold to get the set. No, those are New York accents. There's plenty of people that aren't Italian Americans that talk like that.
Cryptocurrency received, so...
No, I don't speak German. Oh, thank you, Eternus. Thank you for sponsoring the channel. Any new Spanish sentences you've learned? Well, now I'm on to the part where you're actually learning about where people are from. De donde eres? Yo soy americano y yo soy de los Estados Unidos. Yo yeah, trying to learn about learning like the chapter on the part on like where you're from now. Oh great, is this post-op? Ooh. What voice will you use for Phil Bell? I'll pretend to be Phil Bell the next time pissing off a scammer. But I actually am gonna have another video related to scammers coming out this month, guys. I already actually have the whole thing recorded. But basically, it's gonna be like my call with the Nigerian cybercrimes police, because I called the Nigerian cybercrimes police, and I was trying to get them to do something about the scammers, because I actually had information on the scammers, and I was trying to give it to the police in Nigeria, but the police were being very uncooperative with me. It's a phone call, and it's like, eventually I actually got really pissed off, and I didn't like yell at them, but I basically like told them like, you guys even know what you're doing, because like I was getting like really impatient, and like they were just it didn't feel to me like they cared, personally. Like when I was trying to report scammers, it didn't feel to me like they cared about it. They weren't taking it seriously when I kept trying to report it to them. What's the difference between blood money and drug money? Blood money is money that was used to kill someone. Drug money is just money for drugs. Oh, somebody's getting raided. But yeah, it took me some time before I said that to the Nigerian police, because I made 4 separate phone calls to them, and these 4 phone calls went over months, and like they didn't even like start the investigation into like anything that I reported, and so that got me really annoyed. What do I think the summer DLC? I don't know. But summer DLC or winter DLC is going to be the last DLC we get on this game. Don't push me anymore here, True Evil, because this hill is really easy to crash on. There we go. I'm sorry it happened to your mom, Golden Stripes. Honestly, I don't know, like I was really trying my best. When I kept reporting scammers to the Nigerian cybercrimes police, I was really hoping they would do something. I was really hoping they would take it seriously, but they just didn't. And I was like, why did they even have like a website? Like, what's the point of that? Like is that just to make it seem like they're doing something? But like, it felt to me like when I was talking to them on the phone, like, you guys can judge it when I put the video up, because I actually recorded the entire phone call I had with them, so I guess you guys can judge it when I put it up. But to me, the tone of their voice, it seemed like they didn't care personally, like, about it. And it's like, I don't even know why you would work in the cybercrimes police if you don't even, you know, care about stopping scammers. Hey, Pro, do you have any Lost and Damned lore videos planned for the future? Really enjoyed the one on Claude. I will eventually have one on how they ruined Johnny in the Lost and Damned. That one I want to make a video. Well, here's the thing is, I don't even think that it's corruption. I don't think corruption is the #1 reason why they don't stop the scammers. Because when you think about how many scammers there are, like, you know, how many scammers would be paying them bribes, I think that the reason they don't take it seriously, I don't even think it's corruption. I just think that they don't care. That's just what I think it is they basically look at it and they basically think, oh, you know, Americans are rich people, Americans have a lot of money, they can take a loss. And so they don't care. That's precisely what they're like, oh, they're not scamming our people, so it's not important. That's pretty much the, at least for me, that's what I think the reason is, why they're not doing anything. I mean, if you look at the Nigerian cybercrimes police, they actually arrested that woman, remember, who like posted that review about the tomato paste, and she's facing like 7 years in prison and a $3 million fine for leaving like a bad Facebook review. It's like that's at the top of their agenda. That seriously is like that's. I know there's good cops in Nigeria that like want to do the right thing, but it's like you know, I just had really bad interactions with like that cybercrimes division. Well, I don't know, Zombie Fanatic. I just think that it's I just think that it's more that they just don't care. I'm curious on what you think is the best ending for the pit, whether to side with Werner and kidnap the child for the cure or Asher. I think that Asher is the better choice because Asher has more of a plan on what he's going to do. Werner seems like he's manipulative. It seems he didn't tell you the entire truth. Asher has been very straightforward with you the moment that you met him. Werner does not tell you the truth. You got to remember that too about him. So I would say that the thing is though, that thing when you can eat the baby, that was never real. That was like fake. Like people thought that was real. That's actually a mod. That is not. You can't actually do that in the game. But people like that video just went viral and people think that it's like real. It's a feature in Fallout 3, but no, it's not. It's a mod. I don't know what that one is, Gunner. What I'll say about Asher is, I think that Asher does mean well in a twisted way. I think Asher is just very brutal about it. But I do think that Asher is gonna eventually cure everybody in the pit. I do think he is. But the thing about Asher is, Asher is making the same mistake that Ben King made in Saints Row 1. And the same mistake with both of their leaderships is that both of the leaders mean well in kind of a brutal way. And Ben King, the reason that Ben King started up his gang was to basically help his people get out of poverty. His in Sunnyside, that's where Ben King was from. In Saints Row, it was like the hood. It was like all of his gang, like Tanya, Warren, they grew up in poverty. They were really poor. And he wanted, you know, he created the Vice Kings to basically help his gang get out of poverty. That was his main reason. And he actually was trying to legitimize the Vice Kings. He was like buying like record studios. He had like supermarkets. But the problem that Ben King had is that the people that were around Ben King didn't want to get out of poverty. They just wanted to be gangsters. So like Warren and Tanya, they wanted to be gangsters. That was Ben King's downfall. That was the problem. And I think that's going to be Asher's downfall in the pit too, because even when like when Asher cures all the workers, when Asher like when Asher like abolishes slavery, when he does all that stuff, the raiders that are like under him, they were some pretty bad people before they got recruited to work for Asher. Those guys are not going to go along with a lot of the stuff that Asher is going to end up wanting to do, and it's basically going to try to lead a coup against Asher. So that's probably what I think is going to happen with him. It's actually possible to legitimize a criminal organization. It is. Is that a criminal organization can eventually buy a ton of legitimate businesses, and they can stop doing crime. Now, how they start up those legitimate businesses isn't legitimate, but if they, like, buy up enough, like, businesses, they could just live off of that and not have to commit crimes. And it also shows you that a lot of these gangsters, a lot of these criminals are some pretty bad people. It's like really evil people, I would say. Because when you think about it, these guys have so much money that they could buy up a bunch of, like, real businesses. Like, real businesses, hire, like, real workers, not have any, like, you know, BS, no drugs, no killing, no robberies, none of that stuff, no prostitution, no gambling. They could actually own actual legitimate businesses, and they could live off of that. And they could still be pretty rich, but they don't want to. They still want to, you know, be criminals. They still want to, you know, they still want the drug money. They still want all of that crap. Like, I mean, honestly, if you just take a look at the Scarface game, like, when Tony buys all of those businesses, like the Babylon Club and all that other stuff, Tony could live comfortably, and he'd still be really rich, just living off of those businesses alone. He doesn't need to do all the drug money, but he still does it anyways. So that's what I'll say about, that's all I'll say about that, is that these guys could, like, yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, is, like, Gus Fring, that's actually who I'm cosplaying as, I'm pretending to be Gus Fring here. The Gus Fring, he literally could, with all of his chicken restaurants, he would still, I would say he'd still be a millionaire. Like, I mean, how many restaurants does he have? How many restaurants, does anybody know how many restaurants he has? But he probably would still be a millionaire without all the meth. So he'd still probably be a pretty wealthy guy, even without all of the meth. But for him, that's not enough. It's just he still wants to be involved in that. My crappy 14 restaurants. So if he owns 14 restaurants, he can be a millionaire easily. Like literally, you know, 14 restaurants. I don't know if Gus is a billionaire. He definitely has hundreds of millions of dollars, but my crappy apartment internet went out when I was helping someone sell. I'm so pissed right now. I need to calm down before I... Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear about that, Owen Titan. Well, here's the thing about Simeon, is Simeon was a criminal, but he's not like a lot of the other criminals. He instead was committing crimes directly through his dealership. Simeon was basically running scams through his dealership. That's exactly what he was running. He would force the people to, like, he would force the people to sign, like, ridiculous, you know, contracts. They wouldn't see everything fully. But here's the thing, is, like, a dealership, like, a really big dealership like Simeon, that dealership probably would not last today, because if they were doing, like, something like that, it would only be a matter of time between, like, before, like, a bunch of people on Google would be posting, like, really negative reviews. And what would happen is the media would get involved, and the media would, like, basically cover the story. The business would get a lot of negative attention, and would probably get shut down really quickly. So, honestly, the internet is actually a beautiful thing, because the internet actually helps expose a lot of these scummy businesses today. Oh, I missed your super chat. I'm sorry. Here's what I'll say about that. Gus Fring is a pretty scary guy to work for, because here's the thing, is though, if you work for Gus Fring, like if you illegally work for him, like you're, you know, one of his guys, like, involved in the drug trade, right? Then he will, as long as you don't do anything to piss him off, you know, he'll treat you well. He won't betray you. But if you try to leave his drug business at any point, he's gonna see you as a liability, and he's gonna try to get rid of you. So that's what I'll say about it, is if you work for Gus, you can never stop working for Gus, because he's going to see you as a liability. He's gonna try to get rid of you at one point. My new landlords are huge scumbags. I'm sorry about that, dude. What have they been doing? Pro, you know how long sick voice to recover from? Oh, I don't know. There are like these cough drops that you can get. Mark, I try to remember what they are. They actually help relieve your sore throat pain. I forget what it's called. I remember when I was sick, I took them, like, but it was years ago. I forget what it was called. Let me look at Fernando's. Pro, have I seen the movie Civil War? It came out a few weeks ago, and it's really a good alternate history movie where the modern U.S. goes to Civil War. I gotta check it out, Fernando. I've heard good things about it. I'm gonna look into it. It's from a sore throat and a cold. Honestly, I'll tell you something, is, I hate sore throats the most. When I'm sick, I hate sore throats the most. Sore throats piss me off the most when I'm sick. Because I would rather be coughing, I'd rather be sneezing, than having, like, a sore throat. Because at least if I cough and I sneeze, if I eat stuff, at least it's not gonna hurt. But when you have a sore throat and you eat, it's gonna hurt. And that's honestly what I hate. I hate that when you have a sore throat and you try to eat and it just hurts. I honestly hate that pain. Looking fresh as hell as usual, Pro. Thank you, Neo. Thank you for the super chat. My new landlords are evicting anyone for renovations and not letting anyone move back in because the rent will have to be the same as when we moved out. They are denying because they won't profit. Wait, hang on. Let me read this again. My landlords are evicting everyone for renovations and not letting anyone move back in because the rent will have to be the same as when we moved out. They are denying because they won't profit. Well, Diffie, do you have a lease? If you have a lease, they can't do that. If you have a lease and you agree and you sign that lease, and because I'm a landlord, and if you have a lease and you signed a lease and you agree to, like, live at the property, and I mean, you don't even have to live at the property, but when you sign a lease, you're expected to pay the monthly rent. They can't do that. They can't just kick you out when you're in the middle of a lease. They can't do that. The only time a landlord can kick somebody out of a lease is if they're doing something wrong, like they're not paying rent, they're doing something illegal on the property, you know, stuff like that. That's the only time a landlord can kick somebody out. But a landlord can't just say, oh, it's my house or my apartment building, and just decide to kick you out. They can't do that. What I would do if I was you, Diffie, is go to a lawyer. Like, try to find, like, a rental lawyer in your area, like a lawyer that specializes in real estate cases, because most cases when it comes to real estate cases are actually rent related. Most of them are. It's usually some kind of dispute between the landlord and the tenants. Try to find, like, a lawyer in your area, show him your lease, and explain the situation to him. Like, there's lawyers that give you free consultations. Like, explain basically to him what's going on, the landlord is kicking me out, you know, stuff like that. I'm sure there's some lawyer that would love to take your case, because if you have, like, a lease that says the time that you're supposed to be living in, and you can prove that you've made payments to the landlord, and the landlord is still, you know, kicking you out, you're gonna have a really good case at that point. Okay, okay, Brandon, I'm gonna start helping people with their heists now, okay? Tob, let me help you with your heist right now, What is the property tax percentage in the US? We don't have this, we don't have that, in the UK. Well, it really depends. It really depends on where you are. Every single state and county have, like, different, you know, property taxes. I'll tell you though, if I was like a if I was like a politician that could, like, change any law that I wanted, what I would do is I would abolish property taxes, because I think that property taxes do more damage than, like, any other tax out there, because they're constantly increasing, and it's more like paying rent to the government, because you have to keep paying the government, like, this percentage every year, and if you don't, they're gonna take your property from you. So, like, do you really own your property if the government can just do that? Not really. So that's, so honestly, I think that property taxes should not exist. I think that there should never be a tax based on where you're living. I think that's ridiculous. And I will tell you guys this. I'm just waiting. Invite me to the heist, Top. I will tell you guys this. This is something that the media does not tell you. This is something the media doesn't tell you about this. One of the reasons that rent is so high, and I'm a landlord, I own 2 rental properties, and I'll tell you this. One of the reasons that rent is so high is because of property taxes. That is the reason that rent is actually so high. Because the landlord has to pay property taxes on the property that the tenant is living in. So the tenant doesn't have to worry about the property taxes, they just have to pay the rent. But the landlord actually has to pay the property taxes. If the property taxes are insane, if there's something like really, you know, high, then the rent is always going to be high. It's always like that. If you look at America and you look at the places that have really low property taxes, look at what the rent is in that area. And then look at the areas that have really high property taxes and look at what the rent is. I guarantee you if you check this, the areas that have really high property taxes are going to have really high rent. And that's because the landlord is basically putting that onto the consumer, the tenant. And I'll give you guys an example. My parents' house in New York. My parents live in Nassau County, which is actually one of the most taxed counties in America. My parents aren't rich people, by the way. My parents live in a middle-class home, that was built in the 1950s. And do you know what their property taxes is? It is $18,000 a year. It's like $17,000, $18,000 a year. It's insanity. And so you'd think that my parents are living like in a mansion or something like that. No, it is literally a 1950s middle-class house. That's all it is. So that is, and think about it that way, is if I was a landlord, right? And let's just say that I was renting out my parents' house. If I'm getting charged $18,000 a year, and also a lot of states actually increase the property taxes on landlords. So if you're a landlord, a lot of times it's like a 10% increase on your property taxes. So if I was renting out my parents' house and the property taxes are $18,000 a year, I have to make more than $18,000 a year from that house. Otherwise, there's no point in renting it out because I'm losing money. So now it's like whatever the property tax is, it's going to be more than that. So now the tenant is going to be paying way more than $18,000 a year in rent to renting out that house. I will actually look this up right now here. But I will tell you guys what a house, my parents' neighborhood. I'll actually tell you what a house rents out for, because I'm just curious on this. I remember I checked this some time ago, but let's just see for rent. Jesus, excuse my language. It is $5,000. Most houses, it's like around $5,000. And that's a month. So $5,000 a month in rent for like the houses in my parents' neighborhood. My God, that is ridiculous. So I would say that lowering property taxes, I think, would cause rent to fall. I think if you lower property taxes, where property taxes are really low, or you abolish them entirely, you get rid of property taxes, what's going to happen is landlords are going to start competing in that area over who has the best rent. And I think that is the best way to drive down the rent, getting rid of the property taxes. Because if for example, like in my parents' neighborhood, if my parents' house is like $18,000 a year, no landlord is going to charge less than $18,000 in rent a year because they have to get that money back. However, though, if you have no property taxes, for example, then landlords are going to have to get very creative on exactly what they charge, because somebody can charge less than them and they're going to lose all their business to other landlords. So I think that is probably the solution, is to get rid of property taxes. But what if there's super high demand for houses in that area? That can definitely cause rent to be higher, yes. But in most cases, it's not because of their super high demand. You're thinking of like a place like New York, like Manhattan, for example. New York, there's like so many people in just like a small area, so there's like a high demand for it. So even if property taxes were abolished in New York, or like in New York City, it would rent would still probably fall down by a lot, but it would still be pretty expensive because of that. So that is one of them, but the number one reason for the rent in my opinion, the reason rent gets so out of control is because of property taxes. I think property taxes are one of the, and insurance, I would say, is part of it too. If because the landlord owns insurance on the property too. If the insurance is like really expensive too, that is also going to affect the price of the property too, of how much they rent it out for. Got this from the Dogma family. LOL. Love your content. Been watching for a few years now. Thank you, Yakuza. Thanks, man. Hey, Pro, I want to do more taxi missions, kind of like how I did the live stream a few days ago. Any tips? I tend to get bored after 5 fares. Well, I would say, if you're doing like a stream, there's not really much more that you can do. If you are not doing a stream and you want to have more fun with the taxi missions, listen to some music while you're doing the taxi missions. That might, thank you, nicest person in the universe.
I thought you were gonna get shot in the face for a second there. Okay, now get in the elevator and remember, inconspicuous.
But yeah, when the United States was actually first founded as a country, we actually didn't have property taxes. They didn't exist. So property taxes are still very much a modern thing. So I think that they should personally be abolished. I don't think there should be property taxes. Not only rents, groceries too. I mean, groceries might have an effect on you know, on a lot of other things too, but I would say property tax, when it comes to the rent, is property taxes is probably the #1 reason that it's out of control. Swipe top.
Yes! Come on! How much better does it feel when the marks are this
Insurance has gotten so high in Florida, huh?
Keep
Well,
going!
my insurance is actually doubled, which is insane on one of my rental properties. So that's what's crazy about it. But here's the thing is, even though my insurance has doubled on one of my rental properties, I am actually not putting that on my tenants. The reason I'm not doing that is because my tenants are really nice people. They always pay their rent on time. They're, you know, very friendly people. I don't want to raise the rent on them. They're really cool people. And their lease is actually going to expire in July. When it expires in July, I'm going to ask them if they want to sign in their year with me, and I'm going to tell them I'm not raising the rent. It's going to stay the same. So it's here in Canada, everything is expensive. It is, yep. By the way, leave the gold in the middle for the end, Top. Focus on the cages first.
We have a little more time here. Now, your hacker can block the security sensors while you're in the vault, but only for a while. If the system goes quiet for too long, it triggers the alarm as a failsafe. And, did I mention that if the alarm goes off in here, they'll flood the place with nerve agent? No? Okay, well, I'm mentioning it now.
Okay. See how much of this gold we can get. I haven't seen gold in some time in the vault here. I'll see you later, Golden. What do I think of wasp? What's a wasp? Thank you, Jacob. You mean like the insect? What are you talking about? Or you mean like music? I think you're talking about music. I was a bit confused. Sorry. Okay. Okay, ooh, that was close. Okay. Okay, there we go. See how much more of this gold we can get. Okay. Go for it over there. And I'm gonna get, C after this, too, here. At 15 seconds, we leave. 15 seconds, we leave.
Seconds.
15 seconds, Tob, remember.
Seconds.
15 seconds, leave. Come on.
Now get out before they smell a rat.
Okay. Moving here now.
Gas incoming. 10 seconds.
Okay, we did really good. It was really good regardless. Really, really good. Oh, it's a band. Okay. Swipe topped. Really good.
That is the mother load. We cleaned them out.
Okay, good work. We still did really good. Love watching your stream. You always give us knowledge. Thank you, Furzon.
All right, now stay calm. Back the way you came, through the checkpoint. Nothing to see here. Back the way we came is too risky now that you're carrying the loot. Let's fall back to the rear door.
You still working out? Yeah. I've gotten back on it.
Y'all done in here? Hey, listen, that fella on the vault door, how'd he look? We snuck a double straight.
London knife crime is out of control. Yeah, I know about that. What's your opinion on baseball? I've never really been that much of a fan of it. I thought Lester retired. No, it's they always bring him back for some update. What's for dinner, Pro? I'm not sure yet.
They've seen what you did to the vault, and now the whole place is locking down fast. They know you're still in the building. Just keep moving and keep quiet. Time to change your outfits. We need a fresh start if you're gonna
Great.
make
We
it
gotta
out
go
here
around.
on the
Okay.
radar.
Come on.
They're closing in on us. We need to pick up the pace. Security is sweeping the whole building. Stay one step ahead, or this whole thing goes south.
Okay, come on. Get that one topped. I'm getting this one.
As long as you stay calm, those outfits should get you from here to the exit. The cops aren't letting anybody through the perimeter.
Tob, go get out here. This is the better exit.
Good job, officers. It's about time you showed up. As long as
Do I watch the NFL? Football? Not really, no. I made lore for Fallout 76, VD. His name is Elliot Griffin, a paladin within the new Appalachian chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel. Oh. Oh, for your Fallout 76 character. My character, I just dress him up in Raider clothes. I just pretend to be a Raider in Fallout 76. I don't like kill players or anything like that, but I typically like the Raiders. I just like the Raider gangs.
the only thing that matters is making it to your ride. Now, don't let them see you leaving. Remember, they know the vault's been hit, but they don't know who you are or where you are. They have patrols sweeping the whole place, and all the civilians have been evacuated. So if they see you,
What's my next lore video? Not sure,
keep your cool and get to the
but I'm gonna try to,
The driver has the getaway car in position. I've pinged you the GPS. Get to the buyer, don't bring the cops, and we're home free.
I'm gonna try to have a lore video out each month. Oh, our car spawned in such a crappy location. Okay. Okay, Tob, stay behind me. Carefully. Don't go through the street here. Go left here. I'm going this way.
I think they're onto you. A real cop wouldn't be going away from the casino.
Damn. Oh, wait. You know what? Forget this. Hang on. Get that one. This is actually probably even better than the getaway car. Crap, hold on. I'm gonna push through them here, hold on. What kind of character do you roleplay as when playing Skyrim? I play a pretty ruthless character when I play Skyrim. Ah. I think I just use that as a ramp to go up. Okay. Hold tight, we'll lose the cops here now. Why US is on right lane? Well, this our country's has been like that forever. The cops any moment here. Should lose the cops any moment here. I'll read the chat in a moment, guys. I'm just trying to lose this right now. Oh, there we go.
I knew this would be sweet. Liberating large amounts of private equity from private equity.
Who's more elite, Navy SEALs or Delta Force? Also, what's my thoughts on Prohibition? I actually don't know that much about the Special Forces. I don't know which ones. There's also Green Beret. So I don't know what's better, Navy SEALs or Delta. Maybe somebody in the chat will know that. But I can tell you about Prohibition. Prohibition is one of the stupidest laws the U.S. has ever done in its history. It's Prohibition is basically what created the Mafia. So all of the modern Italian Mafia that exists today literally got rich from Prohibition. So like all of these really powerful Mafia families that exist today, these families would not be as powerful today if it was not for Prohibition. So they got so rich through Prohibition, and then after Prohibition ended, they just bought up a bunch of casinos and other businesses. So they made them rich, and then they just used that money to buy other stuff. So literally, that's what I'll say about the Prohibition. It's just a stupid thing. And Prohibition at the time was passed by it was passed by like a bunch of like really religious people who like believed that drinking was wrong, and they pressured the government into it, and that's pretty much what had caused it. It was a disaster. What kind of character do you roleplay as when playing Skyrim? Pretty ruthless, Jacob. Have I seen Red Dawn? He's bad, but the Cuban colonel, but not completely evil like the Soviet commanders. And Nicaraguan captain in that film looks like a young Raul Menendez. I know the Cuban colonel is not evil. And remember, the Cuban colonel actually tells the Soviet commanders that basically to have the resistance stop is we have to win like the hearts and minds of the Americans, not oppress them. And the Soviet commanders didn't want to listen to him. I remember that too. What do you mean, like an assassin, a thief, warrior, or mage? Oh, you mean like playstyles. When I said like ruthless, I mean that I kill... When I play Skyrim, I always kill plenty of innocent people when I play the Skyrim. Like, whenever I play the Elder Scrolls games, I always like break the law, I steal stuff, I kill people. So like, my character's a pretty bad person in the Elder Scrolls games, but yeah, I steal stuff. And I actually play like a combination of everything. I'm actually not that much into sword fighting. Swords, my character actually is not that great with. Definitely not heavy weapons. If I'm going to be using a sword, it's going to be like, you know, a one-handed sword. But I use, you know, magic, a lot of destruction magic, and, yeah, destruction magic and bow. Destruction magic and bow, I would say, is pretty much what I use mostly when I'm playing through the Elder Scrolls games. In Fallout 3, it kind of sucks that you can't tell James that Jonas was killed after he left. Oh, yeah, that, actually, you're right on that. I actually never thought about that. That you can't tell James that Jonas is dead. And honestly, I'll tell you something. The father in Fallout 3 is an idiot. Because, like, he knows what a psycho the Overseer is. And so, did he not think that wasn't going to cause consequences? Like, you play as his son or daughter. You play as the Lone Wanderer. The Overseer is gonna go after you, like, right away. Like, did your father not even think about that? That, like, the Overseer was gonna go after you for, like, leaving? Like, I mean, he knew the Overseer longer, like, way longer than you did. So, like, I don't know, like, how he thought that, like, that the Overseer was gonna be perfectly fine and not go after you for that. I won't have you calling Liam Neeson an idiot, huh? I actually didn't even know that Liam Neeson voiced him until, like, years later. I need some advice, Pat. Why? What's wrong, dude? Okay, who else needed help with it, right? Who are the other people that needed help with it?
Boss, I saw something you might be interested in.
Yeah, no. That was like, boss, I think you might be something interested in. Yeah, no. Who are the other people that needed help? Just send me an invite. Who else needed help with the heist? It was, Wick, and then who was the other person? It was, Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah, are you still here? Someone posted a very long comment on your previous two videos how GTA 4 is a bad game with other nonsense which might be AI generated. I know, it's like a weird comment. I don't know why he does that. Jeremiah, are you here? You wanted help, right? What? Mine is a warrior build with a little bit of magical use. His name is Jack Stormblade. You know what I'll tell you about Skyrim though? Here's one thing I'll tell you about the game. Or not Skyrim, Elder Scrolls Online. I tried to play Elder Scrolls Online because I really like Skyrim, and I'm a pretty high level in that game. But what I'll tell you about Elder Scrolls Online, is that the Elder Scrolls Online has, like, people that, like, run these insanely overpowered builds, like, with tank and all that stuff that you can't even do any damage to them. And it just gets really annoying PvPing in that game. Yeah, I want to play the Mafia games this year. I think we'll definitely revisit that and we'll play them. Okay, so who needed help? Wick or Jeremiah? Are you still here? Or what's going on? Somebody else still needed help, right? What stage should the next Fallout game take place in? Why don't they make the game take place in, like, a place that you don't really expect? Like, why don't they do it in, like, Chicago, for example? Like, Chicago was, like, a place you haven't really heard about. You know, they could do that there, for example. Wait, what's going on, Ronan? You need help with something, Ronan? Are you still here? So no one else needed help with a heist? Okay, then, was it just, make a video on how to upload and edit thumbnails and membership badges. I'd like to see a guide on it. I probably would be really bad with that, Phoenix, I'll be honest with you, because I know how to edit thumbnails a little bit, but I'm not, like, the greatest with it. Like, all of my thumbnails I make myself, so, like, every single one of my thumbnails you see I do on my own, but there's people that know Photoshop just way better than me. They're just way better. Pro, did you always thank the bus driver for driving you from point A to point B in my high school years? Lots of people just left without saying anything. It's annoying, disrespectful. I actually never had a bus driver when I was in school. My parents would always drive me to school, so I never had a bus driver. But whenever I did take public transportation, I did thank people. Well, Phoenix, if you need help with anything, we can talk in a party, and I can try to give you some tips, but, your thumbnails really aren't too bad. It's maybe a little too much text sometimes. Well, the thing about about the text, is I want to point stuff out. Like, I guess that's why I overdo it with the text sometimes, too. But it's, yeah. Did you guys think my Claude thumbnail was good? The thumbnail that I put for Claude today, was that a good thumbnail? Was that one good? With, like, Claude standing over, and, like, Asuka, and, like, Kenji on the left and right side, and No, I wouldn't, I would never abolish unions, because I think it's up to the business on whether they want to, you know, deal with the union or not. If the business, if a business, you know, signs a contract with a union, then, you know, they're obliged to follow that contract. You know, that's, your best thumbnail will always be the Big Smoke's train mission in the original San Andreas. Oh, let me actually look that one up. I remember the video. It's called Big Smoke's Stupid Train Mission, right? Let me look it up actually. A Big Smoke. Oh yeah, I see it. Big Smoke stupid train mission. Yeah, I see the thumbnail for that one. That one's good. Okay. Okay. Well, I use red and yellow because I thought, like, it highlights stuff. That's why I use it a lot. No, I haven't finished the Fallout show. I'll finish it this week now. I play as the assassin class. I forget what it's called in Elder Scrolls Online. Well, thank you, Steph. But, I guess I will, I guess I'll probably wrap this up here. I'm not getting any more invites, so I don't know. I guess nobody needs help with a heist here. But I was just gonna do one more heist then. But I'll still answer questions. Okay, well, Phoenix, we can talk about it in a party, and I can explain it to you, everything in detail on how I make my thumbnails there. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you guys enjoyed the stream, do drop a like. Thank you guys for watching, and I will actually see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend, guys.